Changing the world with the founder of the Loukoumi Foundation, my friend Nick Katsoris. Nick, you're the president and founder of the Loukoumi Foundation. What made you start this foundation?
Well, first of all, Maria, it's so great to see you as always. Thank you for having me here today. So, I'm an attorney by day, and I've always wanted to write. I was inspired as a young child by my aunt, who was a teacher, to write books. And one day, I was in the kitchen with my wife, and someone brought us back a box of Loukoumi candy from Greece. And I said to my wife, I hadn't tried it since I was a kid. I said, "Could you please hand me that box of Loukoumi?" I called her Loukoumi. It just came out. And we looked at each other and said, wouldn't that make a cute name for a children's book character? So a year later, our son was born, and I decided to publish his first book, self published his first book called Loukoumi, about a little lamb from Greece. And I did it just for myself and for my son. And next thing I knew, the New York Times wrote an article about us, and we hit number 4 on the Barnes and Noble bestseller list. So that was my dream come true to write this book, and it led to a series of 9 books now, each teaching children different lessons in life about the environment, about anti-bullying, about doing good things for others, and the book series took on a life of its own. And in 2014, we received the a National Make a Difference Award from USA Weekend Magazine and the Points of Light organization. And I was so inspired by that event. That was, the award was presented to us by the host of the Today Show. But also I saw 9 other award recipients that day who were also changing the world. And I was inspired to do more. So I remember on that train ride back from Washington, D.C. to New York, I leaned over to my wife, Vula, and I said, this is more than just a book series. It's something that we need to do to change the world, and that's what we did. The first thing I did when I came back is I started the Loukoumi Make a Difference Foundation, which stemmed from these books and the lessons in these books, particularly the book Loukoumi's Good Deeds, which is narrated by Jennifer Aniston on CD and benefits St. Jude Children's Hospital. That book, when it was released in 2008, we started a program called Make a Difference Day, where the first year we had about 1,000 kids. Now we have over 100,000 kids
Wow,
around the world.
that's something.
Who are,
So
right,
that means like that award, like the Points of Light Foundation, awarded you the National Make a Difference Day award, actually in 2014. You said, right?
2014, yes.
Yeah. So when they gave you this award, they said, Lukumi the Lamb inspires a good deeds movement, encouraging children to make a difference. I want you to tell us about it.
Well, Maria, when that article came out, someone made me a coffee mug that said the Loukoumi Movement on it. And I drink coffee out of that every morning, and it inspires me. And that's exactly what it is. It's become a movement because what we try to teach children is to make a difference in the world, in their lives and the lives of others. Now, I say the lives of others because we encourage them to look inside themselves and figure out how they can change the world for causes and charities that they're passionate about. And you see the excitement on their faces and in their eyes when they do these things. But I also say that it changes them, and it's to change their lives as well, because it is changing their lives. Um,
So that's exactly what I want to ask you. How does that translate in real time for these children? You know?
it translates because it makes them feel wonderful. It gives them self-esteem. We've done a lot of research showing that it helps their mental health. When people do
Wow.
good for others, it helps their mental health. So what we do is we try first and foremost to help causes and children around the world in underserved communities. But not only do we help them by doing things that they need through the children of the foundation, but we also help them by then helping them to help others. And that helps their mental health. And that's been proven time and time again. The CDC, the University of Michigan, Forbes magazine, they say that doing even one kind act a day let alone two or three or five a week, will help the child with their self-esteem, help their mental health, make them feel better about themselves, and let them realize that they can change the world one good deed at a time.
So, what actually like those special programs that for Lukumi, like it ties directly to some of the UN Sustainable Development Goals, and I hear now some of the programs, the Lukumi Foundation has developed, and I'm sure that there are going to be hundreds of it because I follow Lukumi Foundation like every day. So, what are some of the ways, that the Lukumi Foundation builds partnership, to achieve the UN global goals?
Well, for instance, one program that we do is with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. And we started this program a few years back where we have children make a card for a patient and donate $1, one symbolic dollar. We have since raised over $75,000 from those dollar donations from these kids. And we've been able to open the Loukoumi Foundation treatment room at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We opened it in 2019. And what's special about this is when children are there at the hospital getting their treatments, their chemotherapy or their whatever treatments that they need for their cancer, we have teachers come in because many of these kids are uprooted from their schools for weeks or months at a time.
Yep.
So not only does it help this Loukoumi Foundation treatment room help these kids with their treatment, but it also helps them with their studies so that when they go back to school weeks or months later, they don't fall behind as much. But the beauty is that we have programs now all across the country inspired by kids. Beckett Potter, the head of our Dallas chapter,
Yes.
has started a program with Blue Origin, the aerospace company, where kids are writing postcards, kindness postcards that are going to ride up on the New Shepard rocket, go up into space, and then when they come back down to Earth, these postcards will go to someone else, either a patient in a hospital, a resident in a nursing home, a grandparent, to cheer up their day. Showing kids that even small acts of kindness can really make a difference in
Yeah.
someone's
Can
life.
you tell me about because I remember about the environment, this kid, with the environment. I love this.
Yes, the environment is,
Which
is
is
a very important program that we have at the Loukoumi Foundation. It started with the book that I authored a couple of years ago called Loukoumi Saves a Park, where we had children across the United States clean up their local parks, recycle canned goods that they see on the ground, help clean up litter. And then that also led to a program with the nonprofit Pitch In for baseball and softball, where we are now collecting equipment to recycle and give to kids in underserved communities. And we actually started a grant program this year where we are giving a field renovation grant to an underserved community. Again, all sponsored by children's donations, which is so special.
and
And you
still,
mentioned the
I want you to tell about Ecos and that program. I love that kid,
I
with
I do
Pamela.
too. Yes. Yeah. Justin Sather from our Loukoumi Kids Club board in California is a real beacon for the environment. He has raised money for several acres of rainforest land in Ecuador to save the rainforests. He's also a big a proponent of helping the environment against plastic pollution. And this kid is only about 10 years old. So he now is going to be teaming up with one of our wonderful partners, Ecos, the environmentally friendly cleaning company. And Kelly Vlachakis Hanks did a wonderful presentation for our children around the world on Make a Difference Day about helping the environment. And now Justin, who's in California, and Ecos are working on a program for the Loukoumi Foundation for Earth Day. We have a Good Deed of the Month program that we do with schools around the world. And our April Good Deed of the Month program is going to be a collaboration with Little Justin, Amazing Justin, and Ecos, the wonderful company.
That's nice. And I want you to tell us about my favorite program, with the floating hospital.
Well, your favorite. How about I talk about you for a minute and tell
No,
you how
no,
much?
please.
No, no, I have to. Because you inspired us to start the Loukoumi Kids Club, and also, which is the lifeline of this foundation. And you also inspired me to want to do more with the floating hospital. I know how much you did during the pandemic for the floating. I would always hear you talk about the floating hospital, how great it is, and you would cook all these meals. And what that made me realize we need to do something for the floating hospital. So we have collaborated now through our Loukoumi Feeds the Hungry program to help the floating hospital. And we have recently established the Chef Maria Loi Loukoumi Make a Difference Foundation Teaching Kitchen at the floating hospital. And this started from a couple of years ago on Make a Difference Day, when you, Maria, cooked with the children from the Loukoumi Foundation. And then we went down to Madison Square Garden, to an area
I
where there are a
remember
lot of
that.
homeless people. And Maria, you saw it yourself. It was a life changing experience for these kids, because many of these kids see homeless people on the street. But this was the first time that they were able to interact, not only interact, but they helped cook the food that we were presenting. And they showed kindness to the people, and they looked them in the eyes. And if I remember that day, I saw in the eyes of those children, their lives were being changed at that moment. And that's what we want to bring to the patients at the floating hospital through this incredible new program that we together have said that we want to fund, for the next for forever. It's just such a wonderful organization.
That's great, Nick. And I really thank you. I thank Lukumi Foundation, which is in my heart. And Nick, really thank you for being a part of IdeaGen TV today. How can the IdeaGen global audience, find out more about the Lukumi Foundation and your amazing work? Please tell
Well,
us.
thank you, Maria. Through our website, loukoumiffoundation.org, through all of our social media channels, Loukoumi on Facebook, Loukoumi Books on Twitter, Loukoumi Foundation on Instagram. And I know anytime anyone comes to Loi Estiatorio, you're always talking to them about the Loukoumi Foundation. So thank you to you, and really to all the kids, and our supporters who have made this movement what it is, and continuing to grow.
Thank you. Thank you.